For this week's 2-minute tech tip, we are talking Google Forms because there's a few things that have come up recently where people have said about Forms not working, and it actually was because of a few of the settings that they'd used meant that Google Forms didn't work if people weren't using a Gmail email address. And I just wanted to make sure that you were aware of them too. So the first thing is, in settings, you want to make sure that you are not collecting email addresses, because if you collect email address and send responders a copy of their response, they will need to have a Gmail email address for it to send to. It won't send to a non-Gmail email address. The other thing that can stop it working is if you use the file upload option, because people will need to have, as it says here, it will be uploaded from the owner's Google Drive. So they will be required to sign into Google to upload. So if, again, people are signing in and they don't have an @Gmail email address, or their business email is not set up through Google Workspace, they won't be able to use this upload option. And so the form won't open for them because it will require them to sign in as they open it. So they're just two things that I want to draw your attention to, because they came up of people saying their forms weren't working. Actually, it was because they were either collecting email addresses or they had that file upload set on. So if you don't use either of those two options, if you just keep them to any of the other ones, is fine. You should be able to open it through any email address. Also, just want to make sure that you're doing it, is that you link it to Sheets. So if you click this button up here for your responses, it will also put your answers into a spreadsheet. It makes it much easier for you to manage and track. So one thing I did recommend to somebody recently is I said you could have two versions of the form. If you really want to have an upload, if you're doing something that you know, maybe an event or something like that, or you're promoting people and you want to have a photo that they can upload, then you could always have a version that doesn't have the upload option in and one that does, and then you could send both links out to people and say, if you have a Gmail account, use this one, and if you don't, use this one and email me the photo. And then you could just make sure that you link it to the same spreadsheet, and then it doesn't matter which version of the form people fill in, you'll have that one kind of main spreadsheet that people's responses will then go into. So yeah, I hope you found that helpful and may have answered some of the questions of why your Google form may not be working. That is just one of the kind of questions that I'll get inside the This Man Loves Tech membership on my weekly Q&A calls. So if you're using tools like Google Workspace, MailerLite, TidyCal, WordPress websites, they're all the different kind of platforms that I cover in the membership, and we have weekly tech support calls where you can come on and we can troubleshoot problems exactly like that, which is where I got to the idea for this tip, because it was something that came up recently. The membership is £30 a month. You can cancel at any time. So if you are looking for some regular tech support to keep your business moving, then I would love to see you in the membership. And I'll be back next week for another 2-minute tech tip.